Welcome to the Rise and Grind Workshop. If you're new here, my name is Ryan, and this is our UV flatbed printer. And if you would like to know some more information about this ZZ2C from Jay's Printer Parts, I'm going to have the full playlist down below in the description, along with our discount code. Today, I'm going to walk you through the entire process and show you how to make what is commonly referred to as a UV printed transfer or a UV printed decal. And just like the name would suggest, we're going to be printing directly onto this material right here, and this is called A-film, and you guessed it, you can also purchase this from Jay's. Our ZZ2C UV printer has a maximum print area of 13.5 by 23. So depending on the make and model of your UV flatbed printer, Jay's does offer these rolls in a 12-inch version and a 24-inch version. The nice thing about the roll is you can cut it to any length you need. For me personally, if I'm going to break out the roll and print some decals, I'm going to maximize my time and my material. We're going to take this over to the cutting pad, and I'm going to show you how we cut this to our final dimension. Again, my maximum length I can print is 23.5 inches. I'm going to go ahead and lay my roll down here on the self-healing mat. I went ahead and picked this up on Amazon. Speaking of Amazon, most of the things you see throughout this video or my workshop, I will have in my Amazon store, and you know I got a link down below as well. Now with that shameless plug out of the way, go ahead and roll your material out. Now that we have the A-film cut to size, take a look at this table right here. You're going to notice a big grid pattern and a series of holes drilled in this table. That's because this is a vacuum table, and this is why I highly recommend, if you can swing it, you start out with something that does have the vacuum table. That's really going to assist in holding this really thin A-film down. Let me show you how this process works. Now, just like most of you, when I started my journey researching how to do UV transfers, there was not a lot of information out there, and I was just as confused as you probably are right now. This A-film does come in clear like you see here, and you will commonly see some sheets that have a white backing as well. And if you've seen any other prior videos, you're going to see these people remove this white piece of paper. When I first got this clear film, I was confused because there was no sticky or tacky side, and there was nothing that I could see that you could peel off. However, yes, indeed, A-film, whether it's white or clear, you will notice I can touch both sides of this film right now. There's nothing sticky or tacky. I'm going to need to remove the clear protective film, and there is a thin layer of adhesive between both of these sheets. I'm going to go ahead and start to place my A-film where I want it on this vacuum table. I like to have an overhang on the back and the front and over here on the left-hand side. And I go about 1/8 of an inch on the side, and whatever I have on the front and the back, I simply split the difference. Once you have your A-film on your print area where you would like it, go ahead and activate your vacuum table. For our ZZ2C, that's going to be the button right here in the front. I like to use my hands to just give it a quick smoothing out and make sure there's no air bubbles or pockets in it. Go ahead and choose a corner and start to work the edge of that film until it starts to lift up. And now you will notice that clear film is lifting up. If you would like to do a sanity check, just slightly touch that corner, and if it's tacky and sticks to your finger, you know you're on the right side. Don't touch it any further. Now look at this piece of film. That vacuum table is really going to help keep that down. Go ahead and peel that protective film off. This film is now trash. And if I don't take care of this now, it's very easy to get excited over there in the software, send the print file, and risk crashing your print head into the table. So let's go ahead and show you how you focus this one. On your front control panel, it's going to say in. Go ahead and press that in. Once you've fed that material under that autofocus bar, you're going to locate the next button that says up. Go ahead and press up. This unit does have an infrared sensor that senses when the material's in range, and it's going to automatically stop, and it's going to make a very weird clicking or buzzing sound. That's perfectly normal. Don't freak out. Once you've done that, I like to come down to the button that says down and just give that one click down. So now that we're ready to send that artwork over to the UV printer, I know this question is going to come up, so I might as well address that right now. We do all of our design work in Adobe Illustrator. Once that artwork is completed and finished, we then export that out as a TIFF file. We are using a RIP software called Print EXP. And a copy of Print EXP will come with your purchase at Jay's Printers Parts. Keep in mind, Print EXP will only operate off of a Windows-based PC. However, you may be able to run something like Parallels on Mac. I personally have not confirmed that yet. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what program you're doing your designs or where you're getting your artwork from. All you need to do is be able to import a TIFF file into the Print EXP software. And if you guys would like me to do a complete tutorial or setup video on how to do your artwork and export it out properly and go through that in the Print EXP as well, go ahead and drop a comment below and let me know. If I get enough comments, I'll go ahead and do a full tutorial on that. Now, our UV printer is currently set up with hard colors, and we have a soft white ink, and our varnish is also soft. Jay's recommends for your A-film and doing stickers, we're gonna run 100 for our white spot channel, and we're gonna run 50 for the varnish channel. Now again, those settings are for Print EXP, and depending on your personal taste and preference, and depending on your RIP software and or machine, you may need to play around with those settings yourself. And one last setting tip inside of Print EXP, since these stickers are not very high detailed, we can get away with running an 8 pass. You do have the option of a 12 pass and a 16 pass. If you're doing something like a very high resolution photo and you want to capture all that crisp detail, that's when you'd want to run something like the 16 pass. For this style artwork, 8 pass is going to be fantastic. So the bright light you see on that print head is an ultraviolet light. This printer uses a special ink formulated. The moment that ultraviolet light hits that ink, it instantly dries and cures it. I can now touch everywhere this is printed, and that is dry to the touch. Now keep in mind, do not touch anywhere else. That film is still tacky and sticky. You will also notice we did not mirror our artwork. We printed our white, we printed our color right on top of that, and then we finished it with our clear varnish. Next up, we're gonna take it over to the Hot Laminator and show you how that process is completed. So this is our Hot Laminator, and once again, you guessed it, you can get this from Jay's Printer Parts. This is a very basic laminator, extremely affordable price, and it gets the job done. Here's a pro tip for you. If you are out here by yourself, I would suggest you do something like I've done here. I've got a small cardboard box and a piece of acrylic laying across this. As you know, I cut my material at 24 inches. This now gives me a nice flat work plane where I can lay that laminated sheet down as you just saw. If you have a partner in crime out here in the workshop, not a big deal. One person can feed and one person can sit on the back side. You will now notice another roll of film on the back side of this laminator. This is what we call B film. Remember that clear film we peeled off, which exposed that tacky side? We are now basically going to feed this material back through this laminator, and we have this laminator set at 80 degrees Celsius, and this B film is going to cover the top side of that print and protect it so we can go ahead and touch both sides like we started out with in the beginning. Let me show you how this works. We are simply going to take our A film and make sure we are slightly touching that guide, and we're going to gently feed this film forward until it just barely touches those rollers. Once you're touching those rollers, you're all set. Right before we laminate this, another pro tip time. On the back side of the laminator, your excess B film is going to be dangling like so. You may have seen some video footage where this just feeds out no problem. That does not happen. Don't ask me how I know 3 times in a row that if you do not keep this out here like this, you might wrap it around those rollers and it's really fun getting it off. Now go ahead and position yourself on the back side of the laminator. You're gonna have some excess B film hanging off. I like to grab mine and just gently take the slack out. You're not pulling really hard. Once again, you're just gonna take one hand and try to keep that up at about a 45-degree angle. You're gonna go ahead and find the button that shows forward, give that a press, and it should automatically start feeding through the laminator. Once again, you're not pulling or tugging. As you can see, I'm literally just keeping some tension on the A-film, trying to prevent it from rolling back into the rollers. As you near the end, get ready to find that button, and you want to stop it. You don't want to press it into reverse. The stop is going to be in the middle. I like to let about an inch go past, and I've stopped it. We're done laminating. I keep a razor blade right by the laminator. Go ahead and trim the excess material off. So now this should make a little more sense. You can see this is printed the white on the back side. The color was laid down next, then that clear varnish. Now back on that front side, we've got a complete finished UV decal or transfer. And once again, you can touch the front side anywhere now. That B film is now protecting that film. We can now take this over to the cutting mat and go ahead and start cutting these apart. Now, depending on the volume of decals you anticipate doing, you might want to invest into a nice paper cutter. You can always use something like a nice set of shears or scissors, or you could always use the old standby, an X-Acto and ruler. Let's go ahead and use some scissors for right now and get these cut apart. And you might be wondering, what the hell do you do with these things at this point? I'm going to show you a couple different examples of what you can do with them. Now, one of my favorite things about owning a flatbed UV printer is obviously the ability to UV print on anything flat. But did you know that most makes and models will come with some sort of a rotary attachment like you see here? You're simply going to load up your tumbler on this attachment, and that print head will be moving back and forth, business as usual. However, your rotary attachment is going to be spinning, and as that print head moves back and forth, that's what's going to allow you to UV print on a cylindrical object. But you might be asking yourself, well, if you could UV print directly onto a tumbler, why would you be over there making decals? And that's a fantastic question. Oftentimes, your machine is going to have limitations. If you want to do something like a large water bottle like this, you might run out of Z height. This would be a fantastic option to be able to do a UV printed decal. Let's also take a look at an item like this. We 3D printed this little bucket on our Bamboo Lab 3D printer, and this would also not fit onto this rotary attachment, but once again, having the ability to quickly print a UV transfer and apply it to a 3D printed part is a fast and easy process. For a small project like that, you might not want to break out this rotary attachment and have to go through that entire install process just for one object. Furthermore, it is also going to take a lot longer to go through the entire setup process and print one UV printed item versus just having a couple decals ready to rock and roll. So again, you don't need to overcomplicate this process. We have a sign maker tool rubber roller right here. I highly recommend this for UV transfers or decals. And if you don't have access to something like this, you could always pick up something like a squeegee, or you could even use a credit card. The whole idea here is you want to make sure you get a nice good adhesion of that UV transfer before we peel that B film off. We have a real basic setup. I have a generic tumbler right here. I got 2 magnets on the table. All I'm looking to do is secure this tumbler so it's not rolling around on me. Now with our tumbler secured in place, go ahead and pick a design. We're gonna go ahead and select this guy right here. And guys, this is a transfer decal. So that AB film, we're now simply gonna grab a corner and separate that. Keep your hands off of this white part because that is sticky and what we're gonna transfer over to this tumbler. Simply align your decal where you would like it. Gently press that down and use your fingers and work your way up and down and slowly work towards the outsides. You're wanting to avoid any bubbles, wrinkles, or creases. Go ahead and take your little rubber mallet or roller, and you want to make sure you get really good adhesion. So roll this up and down and work your way to the outer edge, and then work your way to the opposite outer edge. Once you're satisfied you have this down really good, again, I would highly recommend you leave this sit for about an hour before peeling the B film off. Go ahead and choose a corner and start to remove that B film, and don't be shocked. It has some pretty good tackiness to it. The key here is to keep it really low to the tumbler. You want to stay at about a 45-degree angle and just take your time. This isn't a race. You don't want to just rip this thing off. Give it a chance to stick down to that tumbler. And if all goes well, that is what you should have. So there you have a basic idea of what you can do with a UV transfer or decal. If you don't want to break out your rotary attachment, maybe you don't own a UV printer right now, you want to buy these and sell these at a craft show on the side on the weekend and save up and purchase your own UV printer. A couple questions I do get asked about all the time with the UV printed tumblers. It doesn't matter whether you directly UV print onto your tumbler or you're using these UV decals. You should always use care when washing these. So we're always going to recommend hand washing. I would say these are not dishwasher safe. Sure, some people can get away with using them many times, but again, if you want longevity, we're just going to always recommend take care and hand wash. Another question I get asked all the time, what other materials can these UV printers work with? This right here is a great example. This is some acacia wood. You can find these on clearance at a wide variety of stores. You can UV print directly on this and sell this as a piece of custom artwork, or you can hang it in your shop like I have done here. We have a couple artists in our family. We want to make some personalized gifts for them. We picked up this spiral sketchbook, and take a quick look at this. We're going to do a direct UV print right on this and personalize it. Now, I will give you fair warning, if you've made it this far into the video and you are interested in a UV printer, you're probably not going to sleep tonight. Your brain is going to be going a million miles an hour thinking of all the wild things you could UV print, and I'm telling you, it doesn't stop. Nothing is safe here inside of my shop. I'm experimenting every day, and I'm always looking for new products to UV print. You can even UV print things such as bottle openers as well. When I first started looking into flatbed UV printers, I had no idea they made a rotary attachment where you could actually do cylindrical items like tumblers. On top of that, I had no idea you could do UV printed decals. I personally didn't really think it was that big of a deal, and it's honestly been one of the best surprises I found out about owning a UV printer. I've been making those UV transfers and putting them on everything around the house, to be quite honest with you. But in all seriousness, guys, I want to give a big thank you to Jay and Matt for sending us out this ZZ2C. We are an affiliate for Jay's Printers Parts, and you guys are going to get US tech support when you order through Jay's. And if you guys want to save some money, I would highly recommend use our discount code RISE and GRIND. If you gained any value out of our videos, you want to save a little bit of money, and you want to continue to see flatbed UV printer videos coming to this YouTube channel. If you've been really excited to get into the UV printing game, but you thought this was out of reach because most of the big commercial machines start at $45,000, well, this is great news for you because I've been extremely pleased with this machine. We go live on our social media channels all the time, so make sure you follow all our social media. That way you can catch this thing live in action. And again, I encourage you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. That way I can create content that you guys enjoy. I don't need to sit around and watch my own content. So thanks again for watching, and we wouldn't be able to do all of this without the support of everybody that does follow our channel and help support us. So once again, thank you, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.